Hello everybody, I'm CarlRyds and welcome to this tutorial video for an Ender Chest Shulker Box system. Let's get started. There are so many blocks in Minecraft that we'd like to have access to, but our inventory is only so big. This is where an Ender Chest Shulker Box system comes into play. An Ender Chest can hold 27 items, which are player specific, so you can open any Ender Chest in the game and it will have your items in it. We can use Shulker Boxes to fill in 27 items in there. This gives us access to 729 items within this Ender Chest, and we do that using a Shulker Box system. For this, you are going to need Shulker Boxes, an Ender Chest, an anvil, and a range of dies as well. This Shulker Box system I'm about to show you is an update to an old one that I made in 1.13. And a link to that is in the video description below and in the cards in the top right hand side of your screen. Before we get started, if there's a specific box you'd like to go to, then check the video description below where there are time codes to the individual boxes. Without any further ado, let's get started. In a change to my old system, the first box we are going to put together is a base box. So these are all of the blocks that you need for your base's colour scheme. So for example here, these are all the blocks I'm going to need for my base on Ripple Season 3. Next we have easy access to a bed, so you're in a situation where it becomes night and no one else on your server can sleep, or if you need to sleep to get rid of mobs, then you've got your bed there as well. The next box is named Crafting. So this has things like your crafting table, your furnace, all the 1.14 blocks as well, and of course a load of scaffolding to help you build. The next box is your valuable box. So these are things like diamonds, lapis, emeralds, all the different ores as well, because they're really good to build with, kind of adding a bit of detail to a build. We also have things like Heart of the Sea, golden apples, netherite ingots, iron, gold, all that good stuff, and all your fuels like your coals and charcoals as well. Next is the Toolbox. This is a really important box. It has things like a turtle shell helmet if you need to go underwater, and some backup netherite or gold gear, and backup tools and weapons as well. We also have things that you should really have on you but don't need all that often, like shields and tridents and crossbows, fishing rods as well, flint and steel, a beacon, shears, spare firework rockets and torches, sponges, jukebox and leads. So this is a really useful box. Now we get into actual items that you can use. So we have things like dirt, grass, coarse dirt, podzol, grass path blocks, and the new crimson and warped nyliums in 1.16. Our next box is our stone box. So this has everything you'd expect: granite, andesite, diorite, cobble, stone and smooth stone. But we also have the new 1.16 black stone in here as well, and of course our mossy cobble as well. The next box is logs and planks, and the running theme is these are your normal ones right here with 2 rows for the oak, because those are quite useful. And we also have crimson again and warped again as well. So you've got the full range of the different logs available in the game. Yes, these are called stems, but they're basically logs, aren't they? They're basically never logs. Our next box is landscaping. So these are all the items that you would need to add a little bit of foliage to your builds. We've got vines, we've got dead bushes, lily pads, sea pickles, all the different types of flowers. We've got some cobwebs, mushrooms, hay bales, cactus, and all that good stuff as well. So that's a really useful box. The next box is our food box. So this one again is very important. So we've got things that have very high saturation like steak and golden carrots, But, you know, we also have the other things in here as well, like chicken, mutton, we've got melons, we've got apples, jacket potatoes, bread, sweet berries, which are also good for decoration. We've got some more golden apples. We've got some fuel sources, which can also be used as food, such as kelp, dried kelp, and the kelp block. We have some fun foods like the pumpkin pie, biscuit, which used to be called cookie, even says Minecraft.cookie on there, and cake as well. Of course, you've got to have cake. The next box is our wood items. So these are items that you crafted mainly from the planks. So we've got things like chests, we've got item frames, barrels, ladders, the stairs and slabs that you use most often, the fence and fence gates you use most often, pressure plates, buttons, bowls, oak boats, armor stands, and paintings. And of course, you can swap these out for whatever you want. This is just basically a guide to give you an idea of what you can put in these boxes. Next, over here, we have leads, saplings, and seeds. So these are all your oak, spruce, birch, dark oak, jungle, and acacia leaves. We have wheat, melon, and pumpkin seeds, and all the different saplings for the different types of wood as well, giving you easy access there to add some leaves to your build or to get yourself a tree if you need it. Number 12 is sand and gravel. This includes a load of sand, a load of gravel, which is useful either for smelting glass or for making concrete. We have some sandstone items as well, and also some red sand, which is not used that often. I don't see many people using it, so it's good to have that on you to be able to test it out in a build. Next up, one of the most useful boxes is the redstone box. And of course, you've got redstone blocks, dust, torches, comparators, repeaters, droppers, dispensers, observers, hoppers, and everything else you need for a redstone circuit, including the brand new target block in 1.16, which has become really useful in redstone builds. Next up, we have glass. So we have normal glass here, we have the glass panes, and we also have all 16 colours of normal glass as well. So this is really good if you think, oh, maybe I could use grey or I could use light grey in this build. Let's get them both out and see which one works, and then I'll go back to my base and get some more of it if I find a colour that works for it. Next up is concrete, same thing again. All the different colours are here, including the concrete and concrete powder variants. I've got white concrete more in here than any other colour, just because that's the one I use the most. But if you use green the most, then put a load of green in here as well. Next up is wool and carpets. Again, all the different colours of wool right there, and a selection of carpets as well. We can't fit all 16 in here, but you need to pick which ones you want to put into here for your shulker box system. Next is terracotta and clay. So we have our terracotta blocks right here. We have our clay over here. We have bricks and all the different pots and walls and everything that come from terracotta. And we have the different colours of terracotta as well. Again, terracotta is not something that you see used as much as it could be. So having access to all these different colours, I really like the cyan one. It's probably my favourite terracotta block. And I need to use that more in my builds as well. So having access to these in your shulker box system is really, really useful. Next up is bones and dyes. So it's exactly what it's called. Access to all the different dye colours for either your concrete, wool, and anything else that you need dyes for. We also have access to bone meal right here and bone blocks, as well as the bones themselves. So it gives you access to everything you need to be able to dye blocks in Minecraft. Number 19 is liquids. So this is a really useful box again. So we have ice here, we have compressed ice, which again it says packed ice on the Minecraft thing. They keep changing names of stuff. We have blue ice as well. We also have some empty buckets right here, some water buckets, lava buckets, and milk buckets as well, to get rid of things like bad omen if you get that from killing one of the pillager patrols, for example. We also have some water bottles right here, so you might need that to use in a brewing stand. And then we have 3 of the potions, which I think you should have on you at all times, including fire resistance, which is really useful in the Nether, slow falling, which is great to get kind of a cinematic view of a build, and healing as well. We also have other things which are sort of related to liquids, snow, snow blocks, and of course snowballs. It's kind of the best place to put them within this system. Next up is Nether Items. So the Nether has just been updated, as we know, so there are now loads of items available. Obviously, the stems are in the wood box, and also the nyliums are in the dirt box as well. But we have our usual in here. We have netherrack, we have soul sand, but we also have the new soul soil. We have glowstone, of course, but also the new streamlight. We have quartz, but also the new funguses, vines, and roots as well. So a really good selection of items from the Nether in this box. The third dimension, of course, is the end, and we have a box for that with ender pearls, some more ender chests, eye of enders, endstone and purpur, as well as some shulker shells and some chorus fruit there to make end rods. We have a dragon head, which are cool just to put on and scare people. Dragon's breath, which is great for making potions. And also the end banner. I haven't got one of these because I'm in a creative world. But that pink banner represents the banners that you get from the end cities. And wither roses, now that is technically a dye, kind of, and technically sort of hurts wither skeletons. But you usually use one of the end gateways in the end to spawn a wither in there and to create a wither rose farm using enderman. So it sort of ends up in the end items box, even though it's not really because the wither's from the Nether, but you know, that was kind of the only place I could really fit it into this system. Incidentally, if you'd like to see a awesome wither rose farm, I'll leave a link in the description and in the cards to one that we used on the Ripple Effects server. Next, we have mob drops and miscellaneous. So all of these you'll recognize as drops from mobs. We also have things like paper, books, and iron bars, things you don't use that often, but would be nice to have on you. Flint as well, a saddle, nautilus shells, cocoa beans, feathers, ink sacs. We have the items from the bees as well. We have pufferfish. Sea lanterns are also really good to have on you as well. Chains, coral, and of course the prismarine items as well. Obviously, if you're using prismarine items for your base, then they go in your base box over here. But it's good just to have these on you, just to be able to test them in builds. Again, this entire system is not about you having loads of these items. It's about you having the majority of items in Minecraft to be able to test them out within builds and then go back to your base to get more of them if they work. And finally, the last 4 boxes I call project boxes. So these are boxes for items that you know you're going to need for a build. And even though you might have them over here, maybe you've got some blue concrete that you use in a build. Obviously, 1 stack of that's not going to be enough. So you'd fill one of these boxes with a load of blue concrete. So it's just about having these in your ender chest. These are also great if you've made, say, some items from these planks, just to have somewhere to store them once you've used them, because they can't go back into the system because every single block is accounted for. So that is what I believe is the best way to set up an ender chest in Minecraft. If you think I've missed anything in this system, please let me know in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to reading your comments on this video. But for now, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.